Hey there and welcome. So, let's get right into it with a big question. Are you really the person you were meant to be? Or have you kind of gotten lost in the crowd? It's something we all need to think about. Let's dive in. There's this idea that the crowd always walks on the path that seems easy. And it makes sense, right? It's comfortable, everyone else is doing it, you don't have to think too hard. But when you see a quote like this, it just begs another question, doesn't it? Yeah, exactly. Just because a path is easy or popular, does that automatically mean it's the right path? Especially for you? This is such a critical thing to ask ourselves. Are you actually charting your own course, or are you just following along? And that really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today, this very real danger of losing your identity by just going with the flow. Sometimes all it really takes is one simple story to kind of peel back all those layers and help us see the strength we've had all along. It all starts with this tiny little shift in how you see things. We spend so much time looking at other people and thinking, wow, they can do that. But the real game changer, that happens when you finally turn that question on yourself and ask, wait a second, why can't I? That question right there is the spark. So, to really bring this idea to life, let's get into a story. It's an old fable about a lion cub, born to be the king of the forest, but who ends up in a very, very strange situation right from day one. Okay, so picture this. A lioness gives birth, and then she dies, leaving her little cub all alone. A flock of sheep finds him, and they adopt him. So he grows up with them. His entire world is shaped by theirs. He eats what they eat, grass, not meat. He acts like they act. He even starts making the sounds they make. He bleats like a sheep. His whole environment just completely rewrites his natural instincts. So what you have is this huge, huge gap between what he is and what he thinks he is. On the inside, he has all the power and courage of a lion, but his day-to-day reality, it's all fear and meekness, just like a sheep. Think about that. He was a lion, living the life of a sheep, and he had absolutely no clue. And then, one day, everything changes. A big old lion attacks the flock. The sheep, of course, scatter in total terror. But as they're running, the old lion sees something that just stops him cold. It's another lion, a young, strong lion, running away in fear right there with the sheep. So this is it. This is the moment of truth. The confrontation that is about to force this young lion to face a reality he didn't even know was possible. The old lion catches up to the young one. It's no contest. And the young lion is just trembling with fear, crying out, please, please leave me. I'm just an ordinary sheep. Let me go. I mean, just imagine the absolute conviction in his voice. He 100% believes he's just a helpless sheep. Right away, the old lion gets it. This kid has no idea who he is. So instead of attacking him, he does something completely different. He grabs the terrified young lion and drags him forcefully over to a nearby river. And right there, at the edge of the water, he gives him this simple but incredibly powerful command. Look. Look at yourself in this water. See, he's not telling him he's a lion. He's making him see it for himself. And for the very first time in his life, the young lion looks down, and he doesn't see a sheep staring back at him. He sees the face of a lion, powerful, majestic. He sees his own true face. I mean, that is the power of recognizing who you really are. In that one single moment, all the weakness, all the fear, it just melts away. He doesn't need to go to lion school. He doesn't need training. Just seeing the truth is enough. And he lets out his first real roar, a sound so powerful it shakes the entire forest. He finally knows who he is. So that life he was living before, that's what we're calling the sheep mindset. And the key thing to get here is that it's not a reality, it's a belief. It's this belief that you're weak, that you have to follow the crowd, that your identity is based on fear instead of your own true nature. Okay, so why does this old fable matter to us, right here, right now? Well, it's because so many of us are walking around with our own version of that sheep mindset. We're controlled by this incredibly powerful force, the disease of conformity. This quote says it all. This is the cage we put ourselves in, that constant, nagging little voice in our heads asking, but what will people say? It's called the biggest disease for a reason. It completely paralyzes us. It keeps our inner lion quiet. And these are the predators we face today, right? The things that keep us huddled in the flock. It's the fear of society and what it expects. It's the fear of failure. What if I try and fall flat on my face? And yeah, it's the fear of what other people will say, of being taunted or made fun of. All these fears convince us that it's just safer to blend in, safer to just keep our heads down and act like sheep. So how do we break free from this? Let's use an analogy from something we all use every day to make this super practical, especially as we look ahead to 2026. It's time to find your life's portrait mode. Here's how it works. Think of your life like a photo on your phone. A lot of the time, we're living in this messy default mode, right? The background is cluttered, everything is kind of competing for your attention. All that noise from other people, their opinions, their expectations, it just creates a blur. The answer? You've got to switch to portrait mode. See, in that default mode, you're trying to focus on everything at once, which really means you have clarity on nothing. But when you switch to portrait mode, the camera focuses on one thing, the subject. And in your life, the subject is you, your goals, your values, your path. And when you do that, all the other stuff, the noise, the critics, the fear, it all just naturally fades into the background. It becomes a blur. And that, right there, is the big takeaway. As you look towards 2026, make this one conscious choice. Stop being the blurry background detail in someone else's photo. It's time to step forward. You be the subject. Put yourself in sharp focus. It's your time to stand out. Now, look, this journey to find yourself, it's not always an overnight thing. It takes a few key ingredients. First, sabr, which means being patient with yourself and your progress. Then, shukr, having gratitude for who you are and where you are on this journey. And finally, just a simple promise to yourself to keep moving forward, one step at a time. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final question to think about. Don't worry about the giant 5-year plan for a second. Just think about this. What is the first tiny little step you can take, maybe even today, to look in that mirror, see the lion staring back, and start to unleash your roar?